So I'm laying in bed and I come across this post of the original poster asking, what is the appeal of the technical test combat? I feel like I am more than qualified enough to talk about this. I've played through the technical test and every version of the closed beta test, as well as the release of the game. I am enjoying Arknights Endfield. Let's make sure that is very clear. I am having fun with the game. I enjoy the game. I am not a hater, nor am I someone who is just going to overly glaze the game. I made this entire channel because I fell in love with the game early on in technical test and still love the game and where it could go in the future. Before I even talk about this, one, I'm assuming that this person on Reddit is acting in good faith. They want to have an actual discussion and understand why this battle system felt so appealing to some people. And I'm going to answer that with my own experience. This isn't anyone else's thoughts, anyone else's opinions, my own, directly from someone who has played every version of Arknights Endfield. Also, I have seen allegedly versions of the battle system that were not made public. I received an email before they changed the battle system with combat that I can't share just in case it's real, and that was a little bit more evolved of what we see here in this video. Two, don't allow anyone to just come in and change what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you how I feel about this, raw, uncut, directly from me. This isn't what he meant to say is situation. I'm saying what I meant and what I mean. So don't allow anyone to change my words. Three, if any content creator reacts to this, trying to do the very same thing, stopping the video before my point is even finished, don't allow them to do that and take their words as valid. If they stop it before I finish my point and don't allow me to finish my point, just deem it invalid because they're not hearing the whole thing of what I am saying. I understand a lot of you guys associate the things that are here with Toboto. These are actually my opinions. I early on, before he even made any videos, was saying that I felt like this combat system had a bigger future. I understand that the developers chose to go in a different direction and they want us to move forward, but seeing this, I couldn't help but share my thoughts on this. So I'm going to do so, and I'm going to move on with my day. So the OP asks, what is the appeal of the technical test combat? He doesn't understand. I've read through this while I was laying in bed. This is the whole reason I even made the video, because I feel like this person's acting in good faith. So I'm going to respond as if they're acting in good faith. All right, so the basis of what made me ask this video was basically this. So I'm curious and stumbled across this video and genuinely feel like this is an inferior version of what we have in the bigger picture. The skill aiming is best a novelty and worst a complete hindrance. You're completely correct. It is inferior. Why? Because it was never fully developed. This is a technical test version of a battle system that could have improved to become something much better. Right now, what you're looking at was an idea, and everything that you're hearing us say, us being the people who are technical tests who enjoyed this battle system, what you're hearing us say is based off of that possibility of what it could have been. Not necessarily saying that this battle system is better. It's not. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not in this form a better battle system. Placing something that's incomplete versus something that is complete, I mean, kind of common sense, right? But it's looking at the ideas of what we have here and then applying them to what we have in the current version. For example, the boss that we're all in love with right now, with the Cry Wolf music and everything, that boss would have been more strategic and would have forced players to, one, see the entire moveset, learn the entire moveset, and then play accordingly, adapting to that current moveset. While in the current battle system, you can just run in and do a whole bunch of moves and clap the boss, right? Like there's no strategy or true difficulty to it. Even in its harder versions, once you have your characters built, they're not really too difficult. While this right here, you're forced to slow down. You're forced to use your abilities at the right time, or else the punishment is face cooldown. Are there improvements that could have been made to that that would have made the battle system a little bit faster, to a point where you can build your cooldowns or remove the cooldowns a little faster, yeah, sure, maybe that combo skill system could have been applied in some way. One aspect of what I like in this is the ability to use your items when you're ready to use the items instead of under conditions. For example, in the tactical system that we currently have, we can't just use the items when we're ready to use them. We have to wait until those conditions are fulfilled. So if you wanted to heal your character, you can't just heal your character. You have to wait until that condition for the item to be activated to be applied. Now, if that has changed in any way, or there are items that allow you to just use it, I don't know those items, but just having the ability to just press one button and, oh, I got a heal, or, oh, I buffed my character, that was so much better having that control. There's also the time stop system that you're seeing right there. They don't fully utilize it in this video, but being able to place where your skills are in the direction that you wanted to ensure that you're hitting the enemy or enemies that you're trying to hit, that was so much better. Right now, we're facing an issue with the targeting system. Sometimes the enemies in the back get aimed at, or the enemies in different directions get aimed at when you're trying to just get the guy that's right in front of you. A lot of these issues would have been resolved with that. Now, the dodge question, I don't know if it would have been better with the dodge or without a dodge, because I've never seen it with a dodge. But that would have been cool to see. What would have looked like if they expanded upon this battle system and added dodge. Seeing stuff like this, where you just have to simply dodge different attacks that are moving. Sometimes attacks that are embodying the half of the field, so you have to get from one side to the other. Sometimes things coming from the air that you have to dodge. It's all about the idea of these bosses that are meant to be more technical and meant to be a little harder and have these cool sequences, theoretical sequences that pull you into the experience. That would have been much better under a system that's much slower. But I would be lying to you if I didn't say that this would have needed improvements. It needed a lot of them. Another one was the elemental system. The elemental system in this game was absolutely ass during this test. The orbs that you had to specifically wait for RNG to drop orbs down, at least to my memory, and you would have to use specific elemental abilities with that orb to trigger the element that you're trying to use. This is what I meant by embodying the entire field, by the way. So yeah, it was inferior, but it's the idea of what they could have done if they would have completed it or improved upon it, rather than scrapping it in its entirety and moving on to this faster battle system. Is the current battle system fun? Yeah. But there'll always be the what ifs. There'll always be the idea of how this thing could have been better with the strategy. Now, I understand content creators, and content creators are going to hate me for saying this, but I understand how content creators want a faster battle system, because slower battle systems don't really work in videos. Content creators want to make content. They want to be able to do something that looks cool. And it's harder to do that if the combat system is slow. But if you take away the content creators and you just, as a gamer, want to experience something more difficult, some sort of strategy, imagine CC with a battle system that required you to pay attention to the movesets of the enemies and act accordingly. Like, these things would have been drastically better. But like I said, I've moved on. I'm perfectly okay with the current battle system. I've accepted that is what we have. That is what we have to work with. And while they have been lately reverting to some of the ideas of what they previously had, so that they could have a more engaging boss fight, more strategic boss fight, there's no way they could revert back to something this with this level of intensity behind it. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Hopefully you guys respect that and can have a productive conversation around that in the comment section below. Once again, no flack to the OP. I believe they were asking a genuine question and trying to understand this. And who knows, the battle system may have not been for the person that is asking this question. It was a battle system that is catered to a specific audience instead of for a massive audience. And the reason why I think that would have been better is because Arknights itself is for a specific audience. Not everybody likes tower defense games. Even when the PC version releases, I guarantee you a lot of people will try it, but it isn't going to grow that much because it's a tower defense game with PNGs and no voiceovers. There are limitations to stuff like that. But when it garners a good fan base that loves the game for what it is and not the audience that is not meant to attract, then you get a win. And eventually Arknights Endfield will see that. It's starting to get there. There's going to be a lot of people who just don't like the base system, that don't like the current battle system. And even though that battle system is faster, there will be a lot of people who end up loving this game once it's further developed, once 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 hit, and they find out that they enjoy the story, or they enjoy the factory, or they enjoy the combat. There's going to be a bigger audience that grows over time. I'm not worried about that. I know for a fact that it will happen. It's just going to take time now that they redirected to something that would have ultimately not done so well for the game. So my 2 cents, take it for what you will. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay chaotic. Love you guys. Peace out.